Curry15 here. It looks like our favorite Halo modder has released a new video. So apparently, if you know this guy, he actually did the Kart, the Halo CE curse mod, which has been trending a lot now, and they're really funny. Like, a lot of these mods are cursed as shit. So we're gonna be reacting to a new video that he just released. It's Halo except it's Mario Kart, and let's see what we're gonna be going for. Yeah. Also got myself a wall too.
Welcome to
Oh my god. They're like little mongooses, but they're all logs. Oh, the hoglet. Oh my god. I remember all these maps from Nintendo 64. Oh man, this map, yeah, I remember. Playing, I was a champion of like keeping all my balloons alive. Oh my god. Jeez. He's holding
It might not be such a good idea for us to stand so close to the track. That's fine, you big baby. Don't worry too much. Told you.
I miss Halo CE Machinima.
Oh, he's dead. Alright, so now that I've flashed the goods like the cheap whore that I am, it's time to explain the how and why.
And why?
Well, aside from being the 25th letter of the alphabet, why is a question you ask people when they do haha funny quirky things. Like, for example, splicing a dab animation into a game that is dabbing by 15 years. Oof. As a result, the answer to most of these questions is simply because shut up. And that, of course, would be a perfectly adequate answer on its own. But it just so happens that I've also been recommended by literally everyone in the universe to make a cursed Halo racing mod using the tiny warthog. And so I did. And then I wrote this incredibly roundabout explanation to a very, very simple question in order to pad out the runtime of this video for more ad revenue. In all honesty, I did really think this would be a fun minigame. Halo has always had a great mix of driving and shooting gameplay, and taking obvious inspiration from Rocket Race and Mario Kart Double Dash, I threw together this cute little vehicle called the Wart Kart. From there, I ported over a variety of stages from Mario Kart 64 that I thought would be fun and reworked bits of them for the Halo game engine. You may be wondering why I chose to use Mario Kart 64 in particular. Well, it's partly due to the relative simplicity of the maps, which means I could port over 5 of them in the time it would take to port a single map from a newer Mario Kart game. But mainly, it's because it's the one I played when I was a kid, and I like it.
Oh, I remember that map too. Oh, fuck off. Fuck you.
Also, because shut up. So, how about that how? Well, there's a lot of technical stuff with this mod that I could talk about, but whoa, what is that?
Ooh.
Is that code? Ew. Gross, get out of here.
Ew.
No one wants to see that stuff. Get Shoot. Get out of here. Halo Kart is actually very simple to play. When the game starts, everyone spawns in a designated stage track. From there, you all load the warthogs, and then the race begins. The track is dotted with various power-ups and weapons that you can.
Oh, can you imagine all the cursed weapons in this mod, though? Oh my god.
And of course, the first player to complete 3 laps wins. At a surface level, this all works pretty well, and is genuinely a lot of fun to play. But oh boy, would you look at that massive qualifying statement right there. Oof. In most of these types of videos, I've only had relatively good things to say about my mods, mostly focusing on design and what I liked about building and playing them. But today, I have to explain why this mod doesn't really work.
Oh.
So hold on a second while I put on my critic's hat. And alright, let's do this. Have you ever experienced a game that you genuinely enjoyed, but at the same time you can see it falling apart all around you as you played it? Which is to say, basically every single Bethesda game ever made? Well, Halo Kart is a lot like that, and it's pretty easy to explain why. Halo Combat Evolved is nearly 20 years old, and whenever you try to do something innovative with it, you immediately run into all sorts of engine limitations, or as I like to call them, the fucking engine limitations. Yes, there are a dozen or so things I really wanted to do with this mod that all ended up going the same way. For example, I really wanted to have players spawn directly into vehicles to streamline the game mode. But doing so in a multiplayer game causes every single person to immediately suffer an intense
Oh.
epileptic seizure, as if they were pounding a gallon of acid during a magnitude 12 earthquake. And of course, I absolutely intended for the power-ups in this mod to provide weapons in addition to other items. But doing so causes a mystical plague of impotency, which made all the weapons start shooting blanks, or in some cases, just cease to exist. Another issue I had to work around was the netcode itself. Halo 1 networking is a bit like an Alzheimer's patient in that it constantly forgets where it left that one warthog. You know, the one that you're currently driving. And so it's not an uncommon sight to see vehicles and players warp 15 feet to the left and straight off a cliff into a pit of sharks and heroin needles. And so I hope it is quite understandable that my original vision for this mod was very,
coding
very
can be a
heavily
bitch.
compromised. And it will likely remain that way until 343 gets their fingers out of their noses and releases the cunting modding tools for the newer Halo games. Seriously, guys, I have been asked so many times about making mods for MCC that I can now hear voices when
Yes,
I
343, get on that.
already before I fucking kill myself. So to summarize my experience with Halo Kart, it is fun and it does work decently well, but it's balanced like an IKEA table built by a retarded marmoset and has more technical issues than the
Makes sense. Makes sense.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to get out of here before Yahtzee catches me doing this. Oh no. Alright, so with the self-bashing out of the way, I guess all that really remains is to show off some gameplay highlights. But if it just so happens that you're some kind of huge nerd, feel free to check out the other video on my second channel, where I go into detail about the implementation and the design and the code.
Oh, my boy's tired. You need sleep. Sleep. Go sleep. Infamous man children.
Oh my god, this is actual chaos.
Holy shit.
Outside the thing!
Oh, that's to get back on it.
Run, just run. Bruce, come on.
Just run.
No.
Oh, that sucks.
No! What? Oh, that was so... Oh my god. We all died.
That sucks.
Oh, he's got a rocket launcher.
Holy shit.
Hey, is that those boys?
I'm gonna stop him,
This looks fun. I want to play this.
Finally around, kids.
God damn it, I hate those guys. They're so cool, though.
I know, right?
Ow! I got him. Oh my god, I got him.
Holy shit!
What?
That was sick. Oh,
Yes,
fuck.
got it. No, you gotta get to drive. Quickly. I thought it was so cool just jumping in that as you drive by.
I'm sorry. So hard.
Oh.
No!
Raccoon!
I thought you were gonna get. I tried to stop him with my body, dude. That's how much I cared about the W.
You did. You cared about it. I appreciate that. Oh, Joe! Oh, first place! First place, Kraken!
For us, baby.
That one's for you!
Oh no!
Oh.
Sorry. God. Holy shit! No! We're fine. Oh, we lost the car.
Oh, lost a car.
We have to get a new car. It's okay. Careful.
Get a new car.
This one. Beat him up. Beat him up. Beat the food.
Beat him up.
Beat the shit out of food. Yes.
New car.
No. Oh my god. Ice physics, dude. Ice physics.
Ice physics, of course.
Go. We all just went straight into the wall right at the start.
Oh, we're gonna go!
Oh, they couldn't do it.
I'm so sorry, sir. I may have royally fucked up. I'm stuck in a bomb tree.
What happened to us?
I'm stuck in a bomb tree. Haha!
Oh shit.
What's happening? I don't know what's happening. Oh god. Oh my god, we're still okay. I did not know that was.
We're okay for the moment, so just keep going.
Oh, fucker waste from grenades.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Oh my god.
Somehow we're alive. Don't roll. No!
Oh, the
Blood.
penguins!
Oh my god, the blood that comes out of the penguin.
Oh.
Pull him off the side,
Uh-oh.
You bitches!
Why do they always have a rocket?
Oh, dude, what is this fucking yaoi art on the side?
Fuck off. Yeah, wait. Oh, it's Mario in one.
Bro.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh. Oh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Yes,
What the fuck's going backwards already?
Who did I just kill? Alright, I've kidnapped Crichton. You got this. I've been kidnapped, Bruce! By your murderer! I'm with the mod maker, and he knows all these jumps. It's almost like he made this map. It's incredible. I don't even have to lift a finger. Inferno, baby. Come on, baby. What is he doing?
Oh.
What is he doing? We're riding on the
Strat.
we're
He found a
killing
new
so
strat.
many people. Inferno, stop, dude, stop! Oh, normally there's music, but I have the music. Oh, my god. Fucking degenerate. What are you doing? He threaded the needle for bad driving. That was beautifully bad. Dude, that fish, by the way, that just jumped over, it absolutely can kill you if you, so happen to get hit by it. It's not very likely, because it's, it's how it is.
Oh.
Oh, I got that guy! I got that guy! I've never seen it actually hit somebody. That's fucking great. Alright, that about wraps up this video. If you enjoyed this litlittle project, be sure to keep an eye out
man,
for
that
my
was
next release.
funny.
It's looking to be one of the most ambitious projects I've ever worked on. And I hope it works, because it'll be a really sad video if it doesn't. Oh, and I know I promised an infinitely long warthog in my last video, and it's coming. I swear it is. Don't worry. I just have to find it out here in this desert. I think it's here somewhere. I think. Probably. Warthog!
Oh. Oh, that's gonna be so fun. So that was the video. I'll post the full video of his channel down in the description below. But yeah, holy shit, I just love his mods, man. Especially Halo CE, particularly Halo CE. So hot damn. I can't wait till FIFA 3 starts implementing mod tools for all the other Halos. So that's gonna be hella fun. I can't wait what people are gonna be making out of that. So yeah. Anyways, this is Hakuru signing off.